Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Metal video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at how you can beat all the missions and the stage for Dokkan Ultimate Player's Choice Battle. Now there are probably, I'd say, let's call it 5 or 6 teams that can do this pretty easily. Giant Ape Power, GT Heroes, GT Bosses, the Inhuman Deej GT Bosses Hybrid, the Super Bosses team on the Rose probably could do it, I think, and then obviously this team. I think there's probably 2 or 3 more that can definitely do it, depending on obviously what kind of roster and dupes and everything you have. But basically the goal is to beat this stage. It consists of 4 phases and has one singular mission, which is to clear the challenge event Dokkan Ultimate Player's Choice Battle with either Super Team, so Super AGL, Super TEQ, Super INT, Super Strength, and Super Physical, or an Extreme AGL, Extreme TEQ, Extreme INT, Extreme Strength, and Extreme Physical character on your team. So either a Super or a Extreme team. This event is an event that apparently, in inverted commas, was decided on by us and the players' survey, which is kind of true, probably, but not, I think they twisted it. They had this event pre-designed and then just kind of threw in some things based off the survey. In terms of the event itself, it is a pretty straightforward one. So there's 4 phases. You got Guiru, you got Pan GT, you got Trunks GT, and you got Goku GT. They each have a peculiar gimmick, and it slowly rises in strength and HP. So Guiru, HP of 95 million, nothing wild, disabling attack and defense down, nullifying ceiling, immunity to being stunned, and does a super of 1.7 mil. He can super 3 times in a turn though, which is a little bit frustrating. But for a first stage it's not too bad by modern standards. You'll need a strong team, but you can set yourself up and kind of get going. Pan GT, 145 million health, 800k normals, 2.2 million supers. She can super once per turn, but she gains attack of 40% each turn passed. So this one is very important, up to 120%. So you want to defeat Pan as quickly as possible. Try to get her out of there within 3 turns. You don't really want the risk of having her super you. Same as Guiru, immune to attack down, defense down, ceiling, stunning, etc. Then we get Trunks GT. So Trunks, good old Trunks, 230 million health, interesting, 1.2 million normal, 3.4 million super, can super once per turn. But what Trunks does is he cycles his damage. So Trunks gets attack at 30% within the turn with each attack that he has received. If you are obviously able to get him out of there fairly quickly, you won't have a problem. But he will stack up to a max of 120% per turn. So with Trunks, he hits harder near the back end of the phase than he does at the beginning. And then his attack will reset again until you attack again. So he basically can boost himself up to 120%, then he goes down. Then up to 120%, then goes down. Which means he actually technically hits harder if he supers after you've hit him a couple times. So because of that, you may want to consider shifting your team around, making sure that your units in the second and third slots are also defensively strong, because you don't want to end up in a situation where Trunks is doing a hell of a lot of damage to you because you have floaters that aren't able to deal with his attacks. And then finally we end up with Goku GT, 600 million health, pretty tough, 77% damage reduction, makes him quite tanky. He can super once per turn, 4.9 million, pretty tough that. Greatly raises his attack as well on super, so his normals are going to hit harder. Those 1.4 millions are going to hit a lot harder after he supers. But what makes Goku so challenging is that he feels like he's on a bit of a burner. So Goku gets attack of 100% up on the 3rd turn from his entry. So after the first 2 turns against Goku, he's immediately going to be hitting a lot harder, closer to the 10 million mark, that 8, 9, 10 bracket, which isn't impossible to deal with, but is not ideal to deal with, if that makes sense. So your most notable thing that you're going to want to do is use your actives. So you're going to want to use the active skills from your team. Make sure that you're using most of them in the Goku phase to accelerate your damage, raise your defenses, and get yourself ready to take on Goku. Because remember, you do not have items. You don't have items, you don't have sport memories. They're banned by the stage. So you realistically are going in quite raw and quite, quite vanilla, quite tame. So yeah, but I mean, honestly, the event has been scaled nicely. I think it's a tough but fair event. Like I said, the good teams will beat this event. You'll have a fun time doing it. Like, I think it's challenging enough that you still have to think about what you're doing, consider using active skills, consider using, different functionalities of units and that. But it's not going to be, to the point where it's grotesquely difficult, and I think that's pretty good. On top of that as well, all things considered, my team that I went with, I just really like Strength Goku and Vegeta right now. I think with the INT Trunks and Vegeta, I think they are looking really good. Especially that Vegeta. I'm using the Vegeta transformation a lot more now, and I think that's excellent. Vegito is working really nicely. INT Gogeta fits on their team pretty well. And then, you get to couple that with the 10th anniversary LRs, who I still think do a fantastic job. So they function really well. Excellent stuff. Look really good. You can use their active skills, you can use their taunts, you can use their whatever. So I think that works incredibly well as well. So for me, definitely this team right now, not that it's the strongest, but it's definitely my favorite. I think, if you put on AGL Gogeta, maybe instead of INT Gogeta, and I think if you maybe put on SS4 Ku instead of physical Vegito, probably have one of the strongest, if not the strongest team in the game. That's just my estimate. But I think obviously for this one, we have to have the different types for the challenges. So yeah, that is something that's super important. Other than that, I think for me, this was really fun. I think overall, most players shouldn't have a huge issue with this. It will be challenging, but if you need tips, if you need help, you can hit me up in the comments. I'll gladly assist you. Yeah, no problem. And as always, that's pretty much it for me. But overall, thank you for playing. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.